All right, so here we are on the next one. How long are her feet? It's the same. You're going to do the exact same thing, except I'm going to show you some. Here, see where I'm making your upload YouTube over here. It's going to be the same, except for this time you are going to have to use the quadratic. All right, it just makes it easier. It's a piece of cake, and so let's take a look. So 3.6 and 1.5. All right. Got to keep that in mind. 3.6 and 1.5. So here we are. Got a girl on the diving board. Okay, here's the diving board, and she's going to jump up. Okay, at 3.6 meters per second is her initial velocity in the y direction. She is 1.65 meters above the water. All right, so she's going to jump up to here. Right? And then she's going to come down like this. So we're looking at this arc, and how long does that take? And then what's the maximum? How long did it take to get here? How long is she in the air completely? This guy does it. Y final is equal to y initial plus v naught y t minus 4.9 t squared. If you're wondering where the 4 point, that's 1/2 of 9.8. And since 9.8 is since the acceleration is there, we put a negative there, and that's where we get the negative 4.9. All right? Okay. So let's look at the first problem. First one says, for how long are her feet in the air? Since she jumped straight up and straight down, how long are her feet in the air in seconds? All right, so what's y final going to be? It's going to be 0, right? So here's what you have. In this problem, for total time, this one's a little bit different. Y final is equal to 0. Y initial was equal to 1.65. V naught y is 3.6 t minus 4.9 t squared. Okay? All right, well, this is C, this is B, and this is A. In the good old quadratic equation, quadratic solver, where t, in this case, is going to equal minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c over 2a. Okay? You can do it that way, or I'll show you a better way. All right? I mean, that's fine, and you'll find the time. That'll give you the total time. All right? But you can also do this. For homework, I suggest this. Go to the quadratic solver online. Quadratic solver online. Is this the one I used? Yeah, let's use this. But math.com. Yeah, this is it. Quadratic solver. There it is. This gives you your A. Let's put in A, which was negative 4.9. What's B? For me, it's 1.6. It's 3.6. What's C? 1.65. And solve. Oops, there it is. Now look what happens. You've got a negative time. Well, that's the time. Let me show you real quick what they're talking about. That's the time it would have taken her if she launched from down here at a greater speed than 3.6, but she'd slowed down to 3.6 here, and that's if she went straight up from the ground and down. But since that never happened, that's a negative time. That's back in time. So that never happened. And so the actual time then is 1.054. And let's just see. 1.054. I'll put my bet. Yeah. Put on my mama. There we go. All right, so now at the highest point, how far are feet above the board at the highest point? That's just, okay, be careful with this one, because what they're talking about here is her feet above the board. So that's just an initial, so feet above the board, that's not hard. feet above the board is, in other words, your when her feet, the meters. It's I don't want you to get confused that we're doing it in feet, but how far are feet above the board? Well, this time y initial is equal to 0. Okay, and what's y final? Well, so we get y final is equal to 0 plus 3.6. Oh, this one becomes real simple because when her feet are above the board, v final y is equal to 0. Okay, and v final is equal to 3.6. All right, and so if you want to find the time, you find the time and then plug it into the equation, just like we did on the previous one, on the porpoise. That becomes the porpoise problem. I'm not going to redo it. All right. So now, what's part 3? What is her velocity in meters per second when she hits the ground? Oh, this is what I wanted to show you. All right. So what's her velocity when she hits the ground? So here's what we do. Here's what we do. We go, all right. So, well, we know that v final y is equal to v naught y minus g times her total time she was in the air. Oh, I wasn't showing you what was going on. Where t is total time equals the total time she was in the air. Okay, and so you got 3.6 meters per second minus g times what was that? 1.04, 1.054, like that, and you'll get her, and it'll be negative. Her final velocity is negative. All right. And problem 10, I'm going to go ahead and go to problem 10, or problem 11. Works the same way. You throw a ball, except this, you throw a ball, it's the same thing. How long does it take to pass a tree branch? Okay, at a certain height. All right. So what does that look like? How much additional time? Okay, so it passes, on the way up, it passes a tree branch at a height of 7.8 meters. Okay. How much time passes before the ball passes the tree branch on the way back down? Okay. So in other words, it's going up to a certain height, and then it's coming back down, and we've got to find the 2 times when it's at that height. And we can do this. We can do this because we're going to say it's launched from a certain height. So here, I'm not making any sense because I'm trying to talk algebra. All right, so here's what we do. Oh, let me go back and look at what the problem says. Now watch this because this can be tricky, but it's really not that hard. All right, 7.8 and 17.1. All right. So here we go. So V naught y is equal to 17.1 meters per second, right? Okay. So now we want to find the height, yf, at 7.8 meters when y naught is equal to 0. Okay, so we've got 7.8 meters is equal to 0 plus 17.1 v naught y minus 4.9, 17.1 t minus 4.9 t squared. Gosh dang it, I get in a hurry because I want to go home. 4.9 t squared, correct? Actually, I want to go to Gomer's. It's Friday afternoon. I need to get to Gomer's. All right, so anyway, hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. All right, so anyway, so we've got 0 plus, and I got 7.8 here. Now, let's get this into a quadratic. So let's add everything to the other side. So I'm going to take 4.9. So this becomes, I'm going to add 4.9 t squared. I'm going to subtract 17.1 t. And I'm going to keep the positive 7.8 equals 0. Now, I'll probably get 2 times. I'm betting the farm that I'm going to get 2 times here. So let's go back to our quadratic solver. Here it is. And A now is positive 4.9. B is negative 17.1. And C is 7.8. And I'll bet I better get 2 positive times. And I do. Look at this. So going up, it took 0.53 seconds for it to get at 7.8 meters. And then coming back down, so it went up and went way over, and then at 2.95 seconds, it's here. So what's the difference between 2.95 and 0.54? I'm going to do that. I'm going to say this. Look, I'm going to say 2.95 minus 0.54. That's the difference in their times. Let's see what that says. And some of you are going, oh, is this going to be on a test? It's a quadratic equation. You can't go wrong. 2.41 seconds, I'm going to say, is the difference. And here we go. Let's see what it says. Some of you might get lucky and have the same numbers I had. Submit. Boom! Oops, there it is. Dang. It's good to be king. All right, out here. Have a safe weekend.